Today we will learn about cloud migration. We'll learn about different types of migration, including cloud to cloud, data center migration, and explore learning resources about wide variety of cloud migration topics. I am referring Azure site, so you can also refer for further reference. First of all, we'll try to define what is cloud migration. Cloud migration is the process of moving application and data from one location, often companies' private on-site servers. Whenever we say on-site servers, we use a word called on-premises or on-prem servers. So in cloud migration, we will move application and data from on-prem servers to a public cloud provider. What is public cloud? That we will understand later, but for the time being, we will assume Azure, AWS, Google Cloud. These clouds are public cloud. Servers to public cloud service provider. The main cloud migration benefits includes reducing IT cost. So the main purpose why we want to do this cloud migration is we want to reduce IT cost. We will use the IT that is provided by cloud and improving performance. Since cloud is maintained professionally by a third party, which is very competitive in nature, and hence they provide top notch services and performances. But there are security, convenience, and other advantages too. So we will understand later point of time what are those advantages. Next is type of cloud migration. Two key technical factors in most migration are: number one, the type of resources or workload. So the resources which we are migrating is technically called workload here. The workload or the resources that is being migrated. That is one factor. Second factor is the location that it's being migrated to. This section explains some of the common migration scenarios and provides an overview of different migration processes, best practices, and business considerations. So you will understand multiple type of migration scenarios. First scenario is data center migration. Data center migration is the process of moving data from on-prem server and mainframes, often stored in a server room at organization office, to a cloud provided server. So we are moving the data from organization office, which is stored at server room, and we are moving that to cloud provider server. These cloud provider servers are housed in very large, highly secure, and professionally maintained building, which are thousands of kilometers away from you, connected to you through some internet, maybe in a different country. High capacity networks are the most common way to move data center resources to the cloud. So we need high capacity network to move the data from data center to the cloud. But when powerful network isn't available, the resource can still be migrated by fast moving them onto high capacity disk. So we will copy the data from your on premises location in a high capacity disk, and then we will physically move them. We will physically move those high capacity disks and data boxes to the cloud service provider. So that is data center migration. Second is hybrid cloud migration. Many organizations choose to leave some of their resources in their on-premises data center and only move a portion of them to the cloud. That's why it is called hybrid migration. So one portion is at on-premises, one portion is at cloud. So that it is called hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud benefit includes maximizing the value of existing on-premises data center equipment as well as allowing organizations in certain industries to meet industry and governmental compliance requirements. Hybrid clouds are also useful for cloud to cloud backup. So if I want to have the data in my premises, but I want to keep a backup of the data in cloud, that is also possible, in which on-premises data is backed up on public cloud as a disaster recovery solution in the event that on-premises data becomes inoperable, in such as in the case of fire, flood, or crime. In that case, it is called hybrid cloud. So we will keep a backup of the data in cloud. In this case, cloud to cloud refers to on premises data centers, something being called private cloud. Third is cloud to cloud migration. Now that cloud computing is so common, many organizations are using multiple clouds. So some of the organization will be in Azure, some of them will be in AWS, like that. Often due to merger and acquisition, they sometimes choose to move resources between their public cloud using cloud to cloud migration. This type of migration is also useful when organization wants to take advantage of different cloud platform products, services and pricing. So it will be also useful if I want to use multiple cloud in the organization. While managing resources across multiple cloud might seem difficult, it is possible to conveniently manage them from single place using central management tool. So there will be a central management tool which will manage the data from different cloud. Application database and mainframe migration. So far we were talking about the data, right? We were talking about moving the data from on-prem to cloud, cloud to cloud, keeping in both cloud and on-prem. Now we may want to move application database and mainframe. Linux, SAP, SQL Server, Windows Server are some of the most commonly migrated workloads. So we can migrate those also. For mainframe migration, two of the most commonly used are IBM and UDCs. Cloud migration benefits for those workloads include lower cost, faster and more reliable performances, cloud-based developer tools and APIs, more robust security, and ability to increase decrease capacity without needing to purchase, install, maintain new equipment. So these are the advantages. Lower cost because we need not purchase all the infrastructure. Faster and more reliable performance because cloud services generally are able to afford very high end machines because they have more capex and we can just rent it. So it is possible to use high end machines at very lesser cost on rent than purchasing them. If suppose I want to use a very high end machine and I may not have that much money, in that case I need to compromise with the machine quality. If I'm going for cloud service, then I need not purchase it. I'm going for rent, so I can afford better performing machines. Access to cloud developer tools. So these cloud services has multiple cloud developer tools and APIs, and we can leverage that. More robust security. They provide very high level of security. and ability to increase or decrease capacity, because we just rent it. Whenever we want, we can increase or decrease the number of infrastructure that we need. If I want to purchase it, once I purchase it, it is difficult to dispose, but here I am just renting it. While it's often possible to migrate those workload without making changes to them, known as lift and shift migration. So in this kind of migration, lift and shift migration, we do not change the workloads. We just take it as it is and move them. That's why it is called lift and shift migration. There are benefits to updating or for refactoring. So second type is, if we do not do lift and shift, or we do not move just like that, we make certain modification or updation. So that is called refactoring. That is to make changes in the existing workload. And why it is done? It is done to optimize their performance and reliability on the cloud. So if when it was on prem, maybe they were performing good, but when it is moving to cloud, accordingly we make changes. Here the performance will be better, but it will take more time. Managed service models. As you research cloud migration, there are good chances that you will come across IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. These terms refer to different level of managed services that are available through many tech and cloud providers. So let's start from IaaS. IaaS is a service. It is a cloud service. If you go for IaaS solution, you will have server and storage, networking, firewall, security, data center, physical plant, building. These three things you will get if you choose IaaS. So, in case of IaaS, you will get server and storage, networking, and data center. If you want operating system and development tools, then in that case, you have to go for PaaS. So, PaaS will have IaaS plus these two, development tools and operating system. In case you want to have all this plus hosted application itself, then you have to go for SaaS. Cloud migration stages. So there are different stages for migration. There are different technical processes and best practices for migrating different workloads and creating different cloud migration. But all cloud migrations follow the same basic six stages. So there are six stages in migration. First is define strategy. So define strategy, define the business justification for migration and expected outcomes. Plan is align the cloud migration plan. So we need to plan the migration to the desired business outcome. Ready. What is ready? Prepare the on premises and cloud environments for migration. Migrate. Now here you will actually migrate. Govern. Benchmark and implement security and cost governance best practices for cloud environments and workloads. Manage. Use proven methodologies for ongoing management of cloud solution. Now cloud migration is done, you are managing it. What are the benefits and challenges? So benefits are optimized cost, as we discussed. In addition to being able to optimize workloads for cost, there are significant saving in equipment, maintenance, and real estate cost. Why real estate cost? Because we are saving space. Flexibility and scalability. Get exactly the right computing resources when you need them on demand, and never pay for the equipment that you don't use. In that case, we will release, we will not rent out. And with some cloud platforms global presence, you can run workload closer to where your customer are for better performance. So we can not only choose the resources, but also we can choose which resources are to be used from which location. So I will choose the resources which are nearer to the customer. Nearer means which are talking about in cloud, those are having some physical presence, right? So I will choose those regions from where the distance is minimal to the client, so that I have a better performance. Enhanced security. Public clouds make it easier to help protect your data and application by providing built-in security at the platform level. So platform level, there is a high level of security as well as variety of specialized security tools. There are specialty security tools. In many cases, security patching is done automatically by cloud provider. So cloud provider will take care of the security patches and we need not take care of it. Compliance. For highly regulated industries like finance, healthcare, government, and some cloud platforms are specialized offering to meet compliance requirement more easily. So those are professionally managed, and since all the professionally managed and targeted for a specific industry, they know what are the security compliance that has to be met. So we can just use those services from the cloud and be rest assured that compliance is meant, compliance is achieved by using those cloud services. Backup, recovery, and failover. Most cloud services provide built-in and one-click backup recovery capabilities, including the ability to store backup in different geographic regions. Simplified management and monitoring. Cloud services provides management tool and monitoring tool. So this thing is also there, and we need not worry about that. We can use the existing management and monitoring tool. Some of the common migration challenges. So till now we were discussing what are the benefits of cloud. Now we will discuss what are the challenges. Planning. Moving individual workloads can be straightforward, but planning a large scale migration requires extensive planning across organization. Cost. Moving to the cloud can provide both short and long term return on investment, but it is important to factor the cost of planning and implementing migration. So it has a cost involved in it, and you have to make sure that we you really can use it. So there should be correct return on investment when you plan for cloud migration. Security and compliance. Cloud service providers offer a variety of security and compliance offerings, but customers are responsible for implementing right solution for their needs. So cloud will take care of security and compliance, but customer has to be responsible for it. They have to be responsible for what they choose for. Business downtime. Moving even massive amount of data to cloud can be done very quickly, but it requires careful planning to minimize downtime. So you are moving the data. So it might cause business downtime. We need to plan such that the business downtime is minimal. Organization adoption and training. IT professionals and developers will find that most of the current skill apply to the cloud, but some skill training is still required. Yes, this is one of the challenge. Who- Those people who are working in the on-premises workplaces, they might find sometimes challenging when they work on cloud. So they need to be trained. Migration partner or vendor selection. Partners are invaluable for organizations that don't have in-house expertise or capacity to plan and implement the migration. But selecting the right one takes careful consideration. This is very important because you are moving your workload to a public cloud. It is no more with you, so we need to have proper selection of partner because they are going to maintain your data, your infrastructure, operating system, etc. So we'll stop here. We'll detail out further in the next set of videos. Thank you.